You should know, right?
Stick by me, I'll stick by you. Stick by me, I'll stick by you. If I didn't have you, you stick by me. I love you, darling, and that's no lie. Oh, oh, stick by me, I'll stick by you. When you cry, I cry too. Oh, oh, stick by me, and I'll stick by you. Remember my heart and my love belong to you. Oh, oh, stick by me, I'll stick by you. Friends may try to hurt us, scandalize our name. No one can tear us apart. You've got a place in my heart. Oh yeah, I love you, darling, and that's no lie. Oh, oh, stick by me, I'll stick by you. Friends may try to hurt us, scandalize our name. No one can tear.
Welcome. Good evening and welcome to the celebration of the amazing Miss Pat, Patricia Chin, and the community launch of her inspiring and informative book, My Reggae Music Journey. Carib News is proud to present the virtual event of a successful businesswoman, a cultural icon, a generous community supporter, and above all, a dedicated woman to her family. We consider Ms. Pat a dear friend, and Carib News salutes her for the building of an institution that is globally recognized. Please see Carib News' print in digital on our website to see the many messages we see loading her. Greatness, and this will be evident in this evening's program. We invite you to enjoy the program. Fascinating.
And Miss Pat has been a visionary and an inspiration to so many. And we are so proud of her and what she has accomplished. VP Record is a brand known globally for quality and for the best in the music. Miss Pat has been a great leader in our community, and she is a treasure. And you'll see in this evening's program, it's a universally accepted notion that we are living in greatness with Miss Pat and what she has done for music, what she has done for Jamaica, what she has done for the country. And my wife just reminded me what she has done for women. And so it's an evening of celebration and an evening that we know that you're going to enjoy because it's for a special person on a special occasion, the community launch of her exciting and beautiful book, My Reggae Musical Journey. And it is a journey of wonderment and greatness. So, Miss Pat, we salute you and we will be with you this evening in that celebration.
Thank you very much, Mr. and Mrs. Rodney from Carib News. Also, Dr. Brian and Dr. Keys. I am so happy and blessed that you have taken this time to honor me with the release of my book and my journey for the last 60 years. I hope we'll have all an enjoyable evening to share my struggles and also my joys along the 60 years. Thank you.
I'm so delighted to pay tribute to Mrs. Patricia Chin. You know, the birth of reggae music in Jamaica during the 1960s is arguably one of the most defining moments in Jamaica's history. Since its emergence, reggae music has come to be known as the heartbeat of the world. However, any credible study of this important genre, which has remained a significant feature of Jamaica's cultural heritage, will reveal Mrs. Patricia Chin's remarkable contribution to its growth in Jamaica and across the globe. From their humble start as Randy's Record Mart in 1958 to the reggae empire known today as VP Records, Pat Chin and her late husband, Vincent Randy Chin, were instrumental in introducing and giving prominence to many new reggae stars in the international arena. I laud Miss Pat, as she's so affectionately called, for her charity and unwavering commitment to the continued growth and development of reggae music, evidenced by the establishment of the Vincent and Pat Chin Foundation, donating the proceeds from our recently released book, Miss Pat, My Musical Journey, to supporting music education, and her support for the Alpha Institute in Jamaica. She's creating a legacy which will outlive her for generations in the United States. I'm pleased to convey, on behalf of the government and people of Jamaica, our pride in the remarkable contribution of the members of the Jamaican diaspora to the economic, social, cultural, and political landscape of the United States. Miss Pat's life stands out as an immigrant success story, blazing a trail of excellence in entrepreneurship, which has inspired so many other Jamaicans to pursue similar dreams in their adopted homeland. Her journey is an inspiration to women also, not just in Jamaica and the USA, but across the globe. Whether Miss Pat chose music or music chose her, Jamaica, and indeed the world, is a better place as a result of her courage and fortitude in overcoming the odds and making her mark in the music industry. I therefore join Jamaicans at home and in the diaspora in celebrating the life of this phenomenal Jamaican woman. Much respect.
She's Chinese Jamaican and Indian. She is proof of Jamaica's motto, out of many, one people. She is an inspiration to not only women the world over, but to so many others, from music buffs to business leaders, and certainly to her family. 4 children, 12 grandchildren, and 3 great-grandchildren. It is most appropriate that this celebration is taking place in this month of March, at a time when the world is celebrating phenomenal women. She is officially Patricia Chin, the force behind the world-renowned VP Records label that was started in Jamaica, West Indies, with husband Vincent, and brought to Jamaica, New York, some 40 years ago. She is Miss Pat, the committed and consistent supporter of our community, including the Union of Jamaican Alumni Associations, which she has supported since its inception 30 years ago, and who was the recipient of UJA's Trailblazer Award in 2015. Your unique spirit and indefatigable energy, your love, respect, loyalty, and devotion over the years is a testament of who you are every day, Miss Pat. We are so, so proud of you. Congratulations. Enough love. Be well and stay safe. One love.
Reassure you and cure you. Hear me the dancer. If you're thirsty, I'm ready to give you water. Drink up my fountain. Be rejuvenated, man. Love on again. Hear this now, your child.
What I'm gonna do if you break my heart? Be unkind, gonna tear me apart. What I'm gonna do, baby. What I'm gonna do. With you, I really wanna take the step. If anything go on, I'm here again left. What I'm gonna do, baby. What I'm gonna do.
Woman on the part of love, we're about to embark. Inside this feeling tearing me apart. Girl, I promise to cherish you like the life I have. Never disrespecting as tears are gone. Baby girl, you can trust me, no, I'm for real. Never let insecurity stop the way you feel. I could never live without you, girl, and that's for real. No matter how rough it seems.
What I'm gonna do if you break my heart?
I would never do that.
Be unkind, it would tear me apart. What I'm gonna do, baby. What I'm gonna do. With you, I really wanna take a step. If anything go on, I'm here again left. What I'm gonna do, baby. What I'm gonna do.
Could say I don't do a tree would be fine. I love you, girl. You are mine, as sure as the sun. We must intertwine, feel the beat of my heart. I know it's genuine, though. To urge you, girl, is not an aim of mine. Keep giving your loving to me all the time. Let me reassure you, set to your mind. Discuss it at a later time.
Hello baby, can you come over? Right now loneliness taking over. Me need you tonight, yeah me lover. Come warm me up under the cover. Make me rock till the lampshade turn over. Rub me chest, rest your head on my shoulder. I make we listen some Anita Baker. Make love till we wake up the labor. Girl, you're all I need, and I'm always missing you, miss you, baby. Miss you. I need your tenderness. I can't resist you, miss you, baby. Miss you. You love me up, squeeze me tight and close. Come here, make me brace you for me king size post. Me and you forever, girl. Now go divorce. We toast to long life, we are prosper the most. Love you to no voice when you call me name. Over and over, she scream again. In me arms, me want you to remain till the sunshine come out again. Girl, you're all I need, and I'm always missing you, miss you, baby. Miss you. I need your tenderness. I can't resist you, miss you, baby. Miss you.
Those days, yeah. Remember the songs used to make you rock away. Those were the days when love used to reign, yeah. We danced all night to the songs they played. We can come again, do it just the same, yeah. Now I feel it in my heart, being such a golden time at the park. Now there's hardly any any safe place left to go. Someone's bound to come and try to spoil the show. Remember the songs used to make you rock away. Those were the days when love used to reign. We danced all night to the songs they played. We can come again. We do it just the same.
This is Praga Benz. I just want to say congratulations to Miss Pat on the publication of her new book, My Reggae Music Journey. Excellent book, you know, and I'm featured in it as well. So, you know, all the best and much success on this project. Love and respect on behalf of my whole Red Square crew. Love, Miss Pat. Big up.
Konnichiwa, konbanwa. Yeah, Mighty Crown のマスターサイモンですけど This is Master Simon from Mighty Crown the Far Reads Rollers. Yeah, bigging up Miss Pat. Check out this book. It's out. My journey, my reggae music journey. Yeah, I'm the founder of VP Records. Enough love from Japan and enough love from Mighty Crown to Miss Pat. Yeah, check it out, alright? この本出たばっかりです。VP レコードのもう全部を作った人です、この人が。ミスパット。この歴史の入ったレゲエの本。どうか皆さんチェックしてください。alright? Enough love from Japan once again. Yes!
Hi, Miss Pat. It's Amy, the night nurse, checking in to say, wow, congratulations, big up, enough respect on the release of your book, Miss Pat, My Reggae Music Journey. It is a beautiful accounting of a life well lived, of a legacy, of a dynasty, a fabulous story, an immigrant story, a success story, your story. Thank you for sharing your story with all of us, with the world. Congratulations. What a wonderful accomplishment.
Beautiful. To guide us through the interview with our celebrated author this evening will be two individuals who themselves are iconic in their own right. Dr. Marcia Keyes, former president of York College of the City University of New York, and a literary expert herself, and had excellent connection with Miss Pat while she was president of York. Of course, you know, VP Records is in Queens, Jamaica. Ambassador Dr. Basil Bryan, former Jamaican Consul General to New York, diplomat, historian, himself an author of the book, The Jamaican, well received, a professor, a sport enthusiast, and they're both very big fan of Miss Pat. Yes. Would you welcome them as they help Miss Pat through her musical journey for our information this evening?
Thank you, Mr. Rodney. Thank you so much. I want to start by just saying my own words of congratulations to Miss Pat and to welcome the audience to this Q&A section, which is going to be hosted by me and my wonderful co-host, Dr. Bryan. First of all, we've got to say thanks to the Carib News family for once again launching this kind of event. And to Miss Pat, you made it happen. Without you and without this book, we wouldn't be here. So welcome all to this community launch. Dr. Bryan?
Good evening, everyone. I am so proud of this event. And thank you to the Carib News, first of all, for always bringing us the news from our community. Now, when we speak of brand Jamaica, we don't add the pieces that make up this brand Jamaica. But Miss Pat, you are part of the pieces that make up this wonderful brand Jamaica, because you are celebrated all over the world. Thank you so much, Miss Pat.
Thank you. So, Miss Pat, this is all about you and your reggae music journey. And so I want to start to ask a question, if I might. If you would just tell the audience, there are many people in our audience, there are young women in the audience. Tell us a little bit about what inspired you to write this book at this time. Just share that with our audience, if you would.
What inspired me? Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here, to be celebrated with all so many people who have seen me through the 60 years that I'm in business. I was inspired by my book because looking back, my parents, which my mother parent came from China and my father's parents came from India. And they never talked too much about their struggle and how they reached Jamaica. So my journey was to say, I wanted my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, and my generations to come for the future, to know who I am and what I did for the many years that I'm on earth. So my book started with a scrapbook, and then it turned into a coffee table book, which it took me 4 years, but I'm very happy and pleased that I was able to finish my book. And I hope I hope whoever buys my book will be also inspired with my journey and my story. Thank you, Dr. Keats.
Thank you, Miss Pat. And I'm going to hold the book up, and I've read it. It's just beautifully written, passionately written, beautiful photographs, wonderful stories. And I just want to say, Miss Pat, you inspire us, and that is a wonderful story. I want to go to my next question. As you know, it is Women's History Month, and we're celebrating women all over the world, all over the globe, including you. And I wondered if you could tell us a little bit more about some of the women in the past, your mother, your aunts, people you met here in New York, a few of the women who were significant in your life and on your journey. Would you share that with the audience as you do in the book?
Yes, I would say people that inspired me, especially my mom. She was in love with my dad, which was a different culture. That's number one. She loved my father, and they stayed married for over 60 years, 70 years. So she was the first one that inspired me to say, do what you love, do what you do good, and stick to what you believe in. My Aunt Edna also inspired me. She's in my book. She did not marry in our culture. She came to America over 70 years now. She also married from out our culture. She married an American colored person, Black person, and she got involved with NAACP. She realized that community work was her service, because growing up in Jamaica, our parents always tell us that it's the community that is important. They're the one that brings you together. They're the ones that you can service and help. And many, many other women in my life that really inspired me. But Mother Teresa was the one that I was growing up. I really read her story, and she said, it doesn't matter what you give, just give it with a good heart, give it with love. And those are some of the women that really inspired me to be the person I am today.
Thank you so much. That comes through in the book very, very much. And I want to take you back a little bit to the start with your husband back in Jamaica. If you would just tell a little bit about that story and how you met your husband and how the business started, because it's such an amazing story. And who knew it would lead to this? So share that with the audience, please.
I met my husband many, many years ago in 1958. while he was servicing jukebox records throughout the island. If nobody know what jukebox is, it's a machine that's in the clubs and the bars. And you put a quarter, that time it was shilling, and you'll get 5 records playing your favorite records. So I met him during the time he was working with Mr. Issa. Mr. Issa was so gratefully to give me a quote in my book. I met his grandfather over 60 years ago. And here is the son, I've met him 50 years now, and we become great friends. So I met my husband, I was doing nursing. First of all, my dad wanted me to work in a bank, which was not bank work for me. I wanted to give my service to the nursing profession. But when I met my husband, I went right in business with him, selling old jukebox records. And we started it from 1958, and then we moved to 17 North Parade. And that's where my journey starts in the music business. And we stayed there for 20 years, buy out the store, buy out next door neighbor, put up a studio 17, and my journey starts right there. In the 60s and 70s, I think was the best part of my life because we were young, we were just having fun, trying to build a culture, which we didn't have a culture named Jamaican music before. So I think looking back, that's a very, very special time in my life. And it is all shown in the book, pictures of me and my husband growing up together and lots of other pictures. So I hope everyone who buys the book will enjoy my 60 years of journey through the music industry.
I certainly enjoyed it. And I certainly enjoyed the chapters on that Idler's Rest, you know, the location and the pictures in there. But also you say that you started in nursing because you wanted to heal. Well, Miss Pat, you're healing with music. So you're healing at the same time, even though you didn't do the nursing profession. So one more question, if I might, before I turn to my co-host. So the transition from Jamaica, from Kingston, Jamaica to Jamaica, Queens. Tell us a little bit about how that happened, and also what were some of the initial challenges in that transition from one culture, from Kingston, Jamaica to Jamaica, Queens?
Well, I came here to the America in 1977. My husband came 2 years before us because in Jamaica there was a lot of political unrest and we felt like our life was in danger. So, you know, we said our life means more than the business. So we decided to immigrate to America. When we came, it was very hard because we had to go back 20 years backward. Remember, we were left Jamaica with our friends, a thriving business, musicians, artists. We were doing pretty good. When I came to the States, we didn't even know where to live, where to send the children to school. My daughter was only 12. My second son was 14. And my first son, Chris, was only 17. So finding school, finding where to live and to put up a business was very difficult. Some of my struggles that I went through is the language. At that time, I think reggae music, it didn't have a good reputation. They just thought that everybody was, you know, doing bad things or whatever. So even my language, speaking the patois, learning the culture, trying to sell my culture, trying to build a business, trying to educate the customer on the culture and the music was very difficult. But we survived. We owned a small store, 10 by 10 space, just like how we started back in Jamaica, selling 45 records 3-4 times in Brooklyn and Bronx. Our biggest sale at that time, 40 years ago, was $275. I have the book to show you. Anyhow, we did well. We bought out the business a few blocks down, and there we started Randy's VP Records. We didn't even know the name of the company. When we went to register after living 2 years, they say you have to register your business. When we went to register, we didn't know what name to give the music. We couldn't say Randy's because my brother-in-law had that name before. So Vincent looked at me and I looked at him and said, you know what, just give it our name. So that's how the VNP came about. Vincent, the V is for Vincent, and the P is for Pat. So we call it VP Records. So that's how the name was born and the business was born. And that was over 45 years ago.
And the rest is history.
And the rest is history.
Right. Dr. Brian?
Thank you very much. Patricia Dorothy Chin. Everybody knows the name Pat Chin. VP, miles ahead in reggae music. But let me take you back to the beginning. 1958, 1960, Jamaica is getting ready for independence. And there was a song that still redounds today, Independent Jamaica. Tell us about that, Ms. Pat.
In 1962 was a great year for Jamaica. We got our independence from England, and it was a joyful time. There was music in the air. Everybody felt so happy and joyful. So my husband met a friend that came from Trinidad, asked him to sing this Independent Jamaica song called Independent Jamaica because we had just got our independence. The radio didn't even want to play it because much Jamaican record was not played on the radio at that time. It was just R&B. But the people on the street were singing the song so much, the radio was forced to play it. And every time you hear Independent Jamaica, that song, it brings me back to the time when it was such a joyful time because we were free from England. We had a journey in front of us. We have the music in front of us. It was a joyful time. So my song, my husband's song, Independent Jamaica, is really a landmark of our struggle and our triumph of having freedom of independence.
And many decades after, that song is still strongly representing Jamaica's independence. But there's another one that really got the people very excited. And you have to tell us the story. The song itself tells the story, but we want to hear Miss Pat's version, Shame and Scandal in the Family.
Shame and Scandal in the Family. When my husband purchased that record from the States, he usually go pretty often to the States to buy merchandise and jazz records. So when he bought that record home, at that time you have something named pre-release where everybody would scratch the label so that the customer would not see the name of the record or the label. And by the time it started to play, it became an overnight hit. Everybody in the street was singing Shame and Scandal in the Family. It had a humor about the parent and the man and the woman. So it was not only catchy, but it was very humorous. So that record has brought us a lot of fame because we had sent it pre-release where we could make some extra money from having it not to the public, but for sound system and for the people who really want an exclusive record. So my husband we caught the bubble and he went back to the States and maybe buy 1,000 pieces. So we had a lead on that record, which I'm so blessed. That was the one that really put us as being miles ahead in reggae music.
Reggae music. That is exactly why I brought that up. But let's fast forward. It seems as if all the leading voices in reggae music, in dancehall music, in Beanie Man, in Bounty Killer, Barry Hammond, tell us about that moment when VP was involved in that Grammy Award.
Well, you know, started way back when, as Dr. Keys had said, the Idler's Rest was a big part of my journey. Because there at Idler's Rest, we started with the young musicians and singers, helping them in their career, and at the same time, trying to build a business and trying to create a culture called music. So I got the respect. Maybe that's why the name Miss Pat came about. I don't even know when it came about, but you know, in Jamaica, everybody, we respect people. I think it's the trust and the belief in oneself that I live by, because back then, they all came to my store. My husband was very sociable. Regardless if they have money or not, he would hire them to studio. Maybe there's $20 an hour, they only had $10. I said, okay, go up. It doesn't matter how they came barefoot, they came as they are. He would say, okay, go play. So there was a trust developed in me and my family, which I passed on, that we have to be respectful to others and respect them and be fair and just and stick by your word and your contract. So many of the artists really came to us with that concept and believe in us, and we do believe in them. So we have Barry Sam on our label, we have Beanie Man, we almost 90% of the artists has passed through my door, whether in distribution or in signing, until when dancehall became the big hit here with Sean Paul. I mean, before that, you had Beanie Man, Buju Banton, Yellow Man, all those, but I think with Sean Paul came about, just like how Bob Marley paved the way. Sean Paul was the one that really brought us good fortune, where we, you know, really showcase our name and our label, and most of all, our culture, reggae music.
You know, I have seen on a personal basis, I have seen the sort of respect that these singers give to you, Miss Patch. It's almost as if they're saying, Mama, my mother, I love you. And I have seen that with my own eyes, yes. But I remember when I served as Consul General and we were trying to get the Jamaica Independence Ball to a higher level and a higher level each year. And I remember the support we got from you, from VP. And once we had contracted the band, and through VP, we got a male singer who would be like the star of the evening. Miss Pat, you were the one who said, but we have to have a woman. We have to have a female. And so you now have inspired so many of our female singers who started out as little girls in the music, but are now talawa in the music. Can you tell us what inspired you on that journey?
Well, I should say back home in the days, there were only male singers, not much female. We remember Marcia Griffiths and the I Trees, which is Bob Marley's wife, Rita Marley and Judy Mott. But they were backup singers. But later on, they did make an LP we call the I Trees. And I was so inspired by them. You know, when Chris Blackwell brought Millie Small with his new LP, My Boy Lollipop, she looked like about 16 when she came. But I was so very, very proud of her, because she is one of the first female that got on the British chart. And My Boy Lollipop just opened the door for other female. Being so young in 1962 and 62 or 64 and made the British chart. I have signed many female. I'm proud to say that we have over 10, 15 female in our genre today. And let me tell you, they have come with so much more than their music and talent. Right now, I did sign Janine a couple of years ago because I met her in Spain and she brought so much to the table. She has a yoga class, health class. And then Itana, she was such a beautiful person. And she gave me the story about when she went on stage back home, they're always putting her backward, not your time yet, not your time yet. She got, and sometimes she never went on stage, waiting the whole evening and she never went on stage. So it's been a struggle for female, and I want to give a shout out to all the women in the world, especially the Jamaican singers. We need more women singers. We need more people on stage. Whatever you like to do, do it. Don't tell anyone tell you that you can't do it. You can do it. Struggle, yes, nothing come easy. But if you need something to be lasting and good, you have to go through the pains. Like the butterfly, it has to have that struggle through the cocoon before you see that beautiful butterfly appears. So don't be afraid to go through the struggle and ask for help. Never be afraid to say, can you help me? Can you show me? Can you teach me? Because you have a lot of good people out there to help you. So we ladies, women, go out there and do it.
Well said, Ms. Patch. Dr. Keys?
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, Ms. Pat, for those penetrating thoughts. And that last question was one I was going to ask Dr. Bryan, so you have covered that one. Thank you so much. So I wanted to ask maybe two more questions before we open up for the audience. I think there's some questions out there from the audience. And, you know, again, just sticking a little bit with the role of your family. You know, clearly this is a family business. You started it with your late husband. It has continued certainly with your sons and your daughters, and probably even some of your grandchildren have been involved in it. So could you talk a little bit about the role that the family has played and how you have been able to keep that together? Because it's not always such an easy thing, clearly, running a family business, you know, next generation and the next generation. Help the audience understand what your children, your daughter, your sons, your grandchildren have brought to the enterprise. Could you share that with us?
Yes, family business. Not that easy as it says, because like everything else, you have conflicts sometimes, but if you are being loving and kind to each other, you try to listen and you try to get a sense of one. Most of all, I think we are in this business because it's our culture, number one. We came here because of many reasons, but we stayed in the business because we love our culture and we love what we do. My first son, Chris, his role is we divide the business in different parts, that we specialize in certain parts, that's so that we don't have much conflict. My first son is very good. He learned the business from he was 7, selling patties and soda back in Jamaica. And he was very much involved with the public. And they like him a lot, you know. He's the one that takes care of the artist, signing the artist. My son Randy came to work with us. He was working in California in a different job, aeronautic engineering. But 25 years he came to help us out and work with us. And he was a blessing for us because we didn't go to a business school. We just started business like any other person start. Each day you try to do better than the next. Each day you try to do the best you can. Struggles, yes, a lot of struggles and uncertainty. but we never gave up because we know how much people in Jamaica depend on us. And we are one, I think we are the only Jamaican company that stayed for the 40 odd years and still running the business. And my daughter, which is the only daughter I have, she operates the business in Florida. She does distribution and she shipped the goods all over the world. Then I have my grandkids, which do the internet because that's a now generation. He's very smart and bright, so he does all the different internet service, putting up the music on Spotify and all of the different one, Apple. And then I have my other granddaughter, Stephanie, that does beautiful artwork on the jackets that you see. So I am blessed, and I have a community of employees and friends and workers that helped me throughout the 60 years. Some of my employees are with me 40 years from Jamaica. And I'm blessed to have, we're like a big family. We celebrate birthday, we eat together in different occasions. And we're a big family. So it's not only I have my extended family around me and good friends, which I am blessed to have good people in my life.
Thank you very much. And to those of you who haven't seen the book yet, I'm just going to hold it up again. You can see it, of course, on the background with Miss Pat, and just some beautiful pictures. It's a beautifully executed coffee table book. It is written with passion, and of course, it's available everywhere. And go out, buy it, share it with your family. It has some wonderful stories to tell, not only of the business, but of family life and cultural life. You'll certainly enjoy it. I want to ask just one more question, and then we'll open it up to the audience. And I know that you've been honored in a number of places all over the world, and you've traveled all over the world. And I know that you have received the Order of Distinction, I believe, from Jamaica. If you would share a little bit about what that meant to you when you received that honor, and then we will turn to the audience, Ms. Pat.
Yes, it was a beautiful morning, and I felt so happy and proud when I walked up to that stage and was honored with the OD Award for my work that I've done over the 60 years. I felt so happy and proud, and I was so proud to be a Jamaican and a woman at that. To be in a man's world, I didn't even really know that I'm doing a man's job until when I come to the state. But I am proud of what I did from I was 18. And when I received that award, the OD, I was even prouder to receive from the highest award I can ever get, the OD from my government of Jamaica. So this is one I'll never forget. Thank you.
Well
Thank you,
deserved.
Jamaica.
Well deserved indeed. So thank you so much, Ms. Pat, for answering our questions and sharing some of these highlights of your reggae music journey with the audience. And now I'd like to open it up to the audience for some questions. And I see that there are a few in the chat, and I will just ask the first one from the audience. You've kind of mentioned it already, but you might want to elaborate a little bit. The question is asked this way: has it been easy as a woman working through the years in a male-dominated industry? I'm sure you can tell us a few stories there.
You know, in Jamaica, I was blessed to be an accountant for 20 years. My husband ran the studio 17, but I was there 6 days a week from 9 until 7 every day, selling music. I didn't even know that I was, I give praise to those people that sell fruits and vegetables, because my selling record was just another commodity. It didn't matter. I was just doing a job. Until when I came here, I realized when they said to me, they want a man on the phone. I didn't know I was doing a man's job. I just was working and learning my craft. I had to learn even more. I have to work harder because I didn't go to the dances. But I was not afraid to ask questions. And my husband was such a blessed person. Although I talk with 99% were men, customers, producers, artists, he allowed me to do what I liked. And I developed into a beautiful person because I was not put down, I was respected, and I gave them the respect that they deserve also. So I would say, whatever job you're in, don't let anyone put you down. Respect yourself so that they will respect you. And if the job is not for you, you got to walk on. You got to do something else, but be upfront. And don't be afraid to ask for help. And all the ladies that's up there, please bring up another person with you, because that's the way your love will pass on and on and on.
So true, so true. Dr. Brian, anything?
Miss Pat, the Chinese in music in Jamaica. We have there was Barry Lee, there was Keshin, the Kongs, the Wangs, Randy and Patchin. What is it that pushes this connection?
I would think that because our slogans is out of many one people, we're all mixed up, regardless of our color, we're Jamaican first. So I believe that Jamaica is a blessed country. When I lived there, I didn't feel like I was any different from anybody else. We are Jamaican first. And then the Chinese shop has a lot to do with the music industry also, because there was a sound system on the Chinese Pacer where the Chinese kids mix together, just like how my kids would mix with everybody as kids. My friends on the sidewalk that sell fruits, their family and my family, they all go in the park and play. So I would say we are blessed out of many one. So we're all mixed up. And I am blessed to have that in my culture, to know that we're all one. Just maybe a little shade, a lighter shade of black, but we're all the same.
Thank you.
Another audience question from the audience, Ms. Pat. This question speaks to the change in the music industry. Clearly, many changes have occurred over all the decades that you have been at the forefront of this. And so the question is, how has the music industry changed from then to now? And was it easier or harder to identify potential music hits easier or harder to identify potential music hits?
Well, I would answer the first one about the changes in music and how music has changed the way we sell music. Because, you know, in the 50s, it was a little 7-inch, call it 7-inch vinyl. Then you go to LP. Then you go to cassette and LPs. Then 8-track, 4-track. And then you come to cassettes. And then you come to now digital, and now you come to streaming. So the music, it's always changing. It's a revolution that's always changing. It was very hard when we went digital because we didn't have the music on digital. It was just on tape. So I think that was the hardest time for my son, and he will tell you when he came, we didn't even have a structure. Sometimes we put an S before the name. Sometimes we put he had to redo the whole catalog. It took 5 years to redo the catalog. But we are blessed that we are able to change as the time go on. We are at the cuff all the while changing. changing. And after streaming, maybe the next 10, 15 years or even earlier, I don't know what's going to happen, but we're geared for whatever happens and whatever way the music is being distributed, we will be there. Reggae music and music on a whole will be there. And regarding the next question, I don't remember what it was again. What's the second part?
Let me see if I can find it. I think it had to do with
how do you know?
Is it easier or harder to identify the talents, the hits? Yeah.
Well, I think the artists themselves, it's their career. They pick their career. So they usually have to work first to show us that they're serious in what they do. They have to do the groundwork too. Not only come to us and expect us to do it. It's their career, their bread and butter. So they have to learn to also work along with their career. But talking about the hits, I think the hits are born on the street. Because I remember when my husband made Fatty Boom Boom in the late 60s. It was just an ordinary record. And all in a sudden, it made a hit in England first. And everybody keep calling us. They want 200, they want 500, they want 1,000. They want to see the artist. They want to sign in. We didn't know we had a hit. It was made in England and then it came over. And I guess looking back, most of the R&B records, they came to Jamaica because Jamaica was so much in R&B. The record was being played 24/7 every day. So they all came to Jamaica to either do shows or to make a record. That's why Johnny Nash came to my studio and did his, I can see clearly now. So there was something going on in Jamaica. We are gifted with music and musicians. White sand, our food, how we talk, our culture on a whole. And this evident throughout the world when I travel. People do love our music and our culture.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So there are two other questions, but I don't know, Dr. Brian, if you have anything else you would like to ask.
Well, it's amazing listening to this journey. But as Bob Marley would say, hit me with music, because if you are hit with music, you feel no pain.
Right.
So, Ms. Pat, we thank you and we thank VP for pushing us with that music. And as I said earlier, most of the big names in reggae music and in dancehall music, somehow we see VP behind those careers. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Brian.
So there are two other questions in the chat from the audience that I'd like to give voice to. And one is a little bit related to the last question we asked, but just a slightly different twist on it. This person said that they enjoyed the recent virtual concert with Beres Hammond. And this person wants to know, what is the direction of reggae music as you see it at this time?
Well, as you know, because of the pandemic, the COVID, we can't do any more outdoor shows.
Right.
So we are blessed to have Zooming, which the Berry Show took a lot. And my son and my sister in Jamaica, they did a lot together with the Barry Salmon's team to really put that show together. And I've got so much response, how much that show meant to just not having an outdoor show anymore and being at home. The show had really give them a spark and they just want to feel happy. And when they saw that show, it was so well attended. So much people give us congratulations about that show. And we are blessed that we could have put on that successful show with Beres and his team and really, really had a good show that people can enjoy and realizing that music is still alive. Maybe we don't do it on a concert anymore for now, but it's still alive and will always be because music is the heartbeat, as you said, It brings people together. If you're sad, you sing. Jamaicans sad, they sing. They're happy, they sing. They're working, they sing. They're talking, they sing. They use words if you don't want to know about what's going on in the world. They put it in a song. They curse each other in the songs, not with gun. We have competition where they compete against each other, healthy competition. So I think music is here to stay. It unites people. You don't even have to know what it's saying. It's just a beautiful way to unite people together.
So there is another question in the chat that I want to come to, but before I come to that one, again, the book is beautiful. And of course, I've seen your other work before. I've seen the jackets, I've seen the calendars, I've seen the products that you have put together. But this really is jaw-droppingly beautiful, both in the content and in the presentation, Miss Pat. I mean, you are to be congratulated, you and your team. And I wonder if you would just mention some of the people who worked with you to produce. I mean, you were the heart of this, obviously, but you had a lovely team, it seems to me, who worked with you. And you mentioned earlier, that it's a family business. Some of the family was involved, and the family extends beyond your blood relatives. So if you would just talk a little bit about some of the key players who helped you to produce this beautifully produced book.
5 years ago, I met a very beautiful soul, Michael Thompson. He was a graphic designer who I met on the internet. And Professor Cooper will tell you that when we saw his work, we just fall in love with what he did. So I met him on the internet, just like Professor Cooper, and said, oh my gosh, your work is so beautiful. So we started to talk and make a friendship, realizing that he's a Jamaican, came to Jamaica. I mean, he left Jamaica when he was 12 and developed his art and talent. He traveled throughout the world and he invited me whenever he was going. We went to so many countries because he did such a beautiful job with his art. So I met him for the first time and I never forgot him. He even laid out the book for me. And that's why the cover of the book, he told me the color. And then Maria, his partner, I met her 4 years ago too. She was a partner for Michael Thompson. So she did all the illustration, lay out the book for me. And then 4 years ago, I met Gladys, Anis, and I just talk in a little tape recorder, my little story. Every now and then, she would come by and we talked about my journey. Then after that, I had 2 other people, which is the last one I had is James Goring, that helped me to really put the icing on the cake. And then I had Alex Lee in Florida that really put all the pieces together for me. So I had a very big team of people. My son, he would listen to the book every weekend. We would take a chapter or a couple pages and read. And sometimes I don't remember certain things. I'm saying, Chris, here is it, my son that I birthed. I'm asking him, did you remember how this worked? Or did it? But he's such a loving, and all my children are so special because they have different talents and I have to recognize that. And I am so blessed with all the people that helped me, all the artists, the singers, the people who gave me pictures, give me also the quotes. I have beautiful quotes from my book. And the gentleman, Mr. Issa, who my husband was working with 60 years ago, 40 years now, I met his son. So he gave me a beautiful quote. Can you imagine? It came right around. From working 60 years with his grandfather, I met the son, and he's such a beautiful person. Thank you, Mr. Christopher Issa, for all your love and all your support that you had given me. Thank you very much. And
And
all
that
the
is-
people in Jamaica that gave me quotes, my artists, my friends. I am so unhappy, and I'm so saddened when, you know, Bunny Whalers just pass on. And you know, Bunny Lee gave me a beautiful quote before he passed on. And then I saw Toots in
Yes.
January, gave his guitar to the foundation, gave his guitar to the Institute. And so much more has gone on before us. So I am blessed to know them and to treasure their music. And as I said, music will never die, regardless of what format it's in. Music is the heartbeat. And Jamaica should be blessed because we have a beautiful culture called music, reggae music.
Thank you. So I'm not sure if somebody from Carib News would give me a little sense as to how our timing is. I just wanted to show this picture here of Miss Pat on her motorcycle. There's a story behind that. This is what
that was an illustration from my friend Michael Thompson, who inspired me to write the book. He inspired me by when I share my story. He said, "You got to write this book."
Yes,
and he created a reggae music journey, which is a pop-up journey. With, you know, I can't tell you how much I missed him.
Yes.
But I know wherever he is, he's looking down because his dreams has come into me where I can pass it on for him.
Yes, I just wanted to share that one with our audience. So I'm going to look in the chat. I do know there's someone who asked the question, a couple of things here. Somebody asked, you know, what kind of advice would you give to women, young women who want to move into the business? And then there's another question, and I think you sort of touched on that a bit, but there's also another question that says something along the lines of, you know, such a fascinating life. And as you look back, is there anything you would do differently, is what somebody is asking. So those are two questions that are out there. You can decide how you want to, if you want to approach those.
Well, I should say the first question is how I want to tell the world, especially women, because being a woman, it was a struggle, but you should never give up. Find what you like to do, focus on what you like to do, work hard on it, ask for help. And when you're in dark times and you feel to give up, don't give up, because that's the time you'll have the blessing coming. Don't give up until when the time, you know, whatever you want come to fruition. Don't ever give up. Sometime you reach that you get stuck, but that's the time you should never give up, because that's the time you got to pray more, listen more to people, and ask for the blessings of our Father, which I have done so many times. You know, there's a power greater than ourselves that really helped me along the way. And I've never forgotten that. I also would say to the next question, that I don't remember what it was again, along the line, what was the second question again?
It had to do with, would you do anything differently?
Oh,
yes.
No, I wouldn't do anything different. I would do the same thing over and over again. Because in my life of my 60 years in business, I've met so much beautiful people. They have helped me so much along the way. And I hope that I have helped them along the way too.
Yeah.
So I would never done anything different, same way. And I hope that when I go, my kids will say, "Mom, you did a good job." And I hope I'll be a good mother. And I hope I've been a good mother to them. And I've given them that be upfront, don't sidestep people, respect people. If you make a contract, keep by it, and also make sure that you give back. give to the unfortunate one. And that's why I come to my foundation, if I may
Yes.
talk a
I would-
little about my
Yes,
foundation.
in fact, I was just about to ask you to launch into that, Miss Pat. So please go right
Yes.
ahead, talk about the foundation and
Yes.
anything else you'd like to talk
Yes.
about at this time. Yes.
Well, I would like to read a little piece of my book, the people I dedicate my book to. And anybody who buys the book can read the dedication. It reads, "To my extended family for being part of who I am. To my late mother and father for preparing me for all that life brings. To my son Gregory and my grandson Joel, you will always live in my heart forever. To my children, my grandchildren, and my great-grandchildren, may you always have music in your life. And finally, to my late husband, Vincent Randy Chin, for sharing with me an adventure like no other."
That's it.
Thank you. So tell us about the foundation now,
Right.
if you will, please. Tell
Well,
us
you know,
how can we support the foundation?
Okay. Well, you know, my family and I has been helping community from day one. So with the foundation, I can pull all my resources together and have more to give to a broader community. The Vincent and Pat Foundation is used as a family legacy in the music industry to support the underprivileged young students in music, music education, and young musicians, and also to preserve the history of reggae and Caribbean music through public programs. The proceeds of the book will go to support the foundation missions. And I would like to have your listeners and your audience to go to the website, and you can have the book on the Amazon, VP Reggae in UK and in Japan, the VP website, the V and Pat Foundation website, and pick up a copy. And also remembering that it's for a good cause. It's for the foundation to help the underprivileged and to inspire them in the music industry, and also to help to preserve our culture in music.
Thank you. I would like us to be able to put that in the chat if we can, Carib News. So Ms. Pat, if you would just repeat, I know the Amazon part, but if you would repeat the name of the foundation and the website, we will be able to put that in the chat and let people who are on the Zoom link know that.
Okay.
Okay.
The book is available now on Amazon, VP Reggae in New York, in the UK, and in Japan, vpreggae.com website, vpfoundation.org. And that's the foundation website. And if you want a signed copy of my book, it can also be given to you. Just read all the instructions on the website, and I could sign a copy. And your donation will be for the foundation and the mission of the foundation.
Thank you. It is in the chat now. And I believe we have come close to the end. Dr. Brian, I don't know if you want to say a few closing words before we turn it back to Carib News to continue the small tributes and the music to close us out.
I just want to thank you all. And I really appreciate this, Howard, having me to introduce my book and my 60 years of my journey. Dr. Keys and all the Carib News family, thank you very much. And Dr. Basil Bryan, thank you very much for this 1 hour that you spent with me. You're a true friend for many, many years. May you have a long-lasting life. I know we lost your dear wife a couple of years ago, but bless you, she is in a good place. we're only here for a time. So we need to make it good. We need to do good on earth so that when we are gone, our legacy will live on. So thank you all for this hour. And I really appreciate the audience, all the reggae fans out there throughout the world. So go out and buy my book because it's for a good cause. Thank you very, very much.
And let
Hi, my grandma. I just wanted to congratulate you on your new.
let me add, Miss Pat, I have seen you in action. You are truly an amazing woman of great esteem. And how you do it after 60 years in business, at 80 odd years old, you don't miss a beat. And you are the heart of VP, because when no one sees Chris, who's sort of shy, and Randy, who's in the background, they see Pat Chin. Thank you so much for being the inspiration you are to our people, to our community, to our diaspora. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And once again, Miss Pat.
Hi, my grandma. I just wanted to congratulate you on your new book. Thank you so much for everything you do for me. And thank you for being a continued inspiration for me every day to go out and go chase my dreams like you did growing up. I love you so much. Congrats on your new book.
Hi, Grandma. Congratulations on your new book. Thank you for being an inspiration to me every single day. I love you.
Hi, my name is Ralph McDaniels, founder of Video Music Box and hip hop coordinator over at the Queens Public Library. The Queens Public Library has picked up this awesome book, Miss Pat, My Reggae Music Journey. And it's an awesome book for people that are thinking about, getting into the music business or just thinking about a dream that they have, because it tells you the journey of Miss Pat and her husband in starting a musical journey and from a record store to one of the biggest catalogs, if not the biggest catalog of reggae music and dancehall music. So it's an awesome book and it tells an awesome story. And more importantly, it's about, just good people who had a good idea and how they did it. And it's an inspiration to me, and I know it'll be an inspiration to you. So pick it up. Miss Pat, My Reggae Music Journey, the iconic Miss Pat Chin.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Miss Pat, this is your stage. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you all for this special hour. And may God bless us, continue on our journey, and hopefully by next year we'll be able to see each other and have some beautiful events going on to celebrate music, reggae music.
And Miss Pat, as you've always said,
It's the most expensive thing I tell you, life.
Miss Pat, as you've always said, music will never die. And for us, you are the queen of music, of Caribbean and Jamaican music. And we want to say thank you for doing this with us, sharing your life story in such an inspiring way. It's been just a extremely wonderful evening. And we expect that as you continue on this journey, that you will be blessed, continue to be blessed. And I'm told that, and we know that you're royal, but we also know it's been in music. And so I'm told that you will now be celebrated as being royal. And as we say thank you to Dr. Brian, thank you to Dr. Keys, to the Carib News family that put it together, Carlisa Rodney, Melanie Painter, and Ashley Daniels. They really worked to make this happen along with the VP team, Garrett, and so it was a team of love, a love for Miss Pat and what you've done and what you mean to us and the community. And for Faye and I, it's been just a joy, a wonderful blessing to be with you, to know you, and to work with you. So, ladies and gentlemen, she is royal.
Yes. Let's hear it.
Natural beauty, you know. Yeah, no, I've never been someone shy until I seen your eyes. Still I had to try, yeah. Oh yes, let me get my words right and then approach you. Woman, I'll treat you like a man is supposed to. Yeah.
She's royal. I guess I want us to sing it. She's royal.
Okay.
Okay.
She's royal. I know. Who was it?
Who is the singer here? Can we maybe all of us sing She's Royal together?
The way she moves to her own beat, she has the qualities of a queen. She's a queen. Ooh, ooh, what a natural beauty. No need no makeup to be a cutie. She's a queen. She's a queen. And when they ask what a good woman's made of, she's not afraid and ashamed of who she is. She's royal, yeah, so royal. And I need her in my life. I never knew anyone so one of a kind until the night that I seen her rise. My queen, so sweet. I can see it in her eyes, the way she smiles. Hey, yes, I know the king and queen crown, same time. So I'd never leave your side. Just stick with me through the trial times. Oh, and she says she no mind. Alright, I know good man is hard to find. And she can't about that giant line. That's why she has no ties at this time. Yeah, I know many men are trying, but she needs to be more than wine and dine, because she's royal, yeah, so royal. And I want her in my life. I never knew anyone so divine. Oh. The way she moves to her own beat, she has the qualities of a queen, so supreme. Ooh, ooh, what a natural beauty. No need no makeup to be a cutie. She's a queen, so supreme, yeah. And when they ask what a good woman's made of, she's not afraid and ashamed of who she is. She's royal, yeah, so royal. And I want her in my life. I never knew anyone so one of a kind. No, no, the way she moves to her own beat, she has the qualities of a queen, my Nubian queen. Ooh, ooh, hey, we got it going on. Hey, we got it going on.
Okay.
I think this is
Oh,